Something I want to talk about today is something that's probably common to a lot of new believers and old believers alike. And that's the pervasive thought of, I'm not saved, or am I saved? I can remember when I was a newish Christian, I used to wait for a lift out in the countryside, and lift to work, this is. And I can remember every morning standing there in this beautiful countryside, a sunny day, and this pervasive thought of, I'm not saved, you're not saved, was the thought going on in my head. And every morning I wrestled with this thought. And it just kept going. It went on and on every day for quite a while. And I was, most of the time, I was clear of that thought. It was just when I was on my own out in the countryside for some reason. I can remember another time when I was reading through the Gospels and came across the unforgivable sin, and I sort of pretty much slammed my Bible shut and thought, well, that's done it, I've blown it. I must have committed the unforgivable sin. If there is one, I must have committed it. Thankfully for me, I had somebody at work who I could go to and talk to straight away, and who was able to explain to me what the unforgivable sin was, and that I hadn't actually committed that sin. Because the unforgivable sin is blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit's job is to witness to us, or to the world, that Jesus is the Son of God. He is who he says he is. And if we reject that, we're effectively calling the Holy Spirit a liar. And the Holy Spirit does nothing of himself. He only does what he's told to do. So it's kind of the utmost offense to call the Holy Spirit, the most humble of part of whatever, of everything, a liar, and say, no, I don't believe you. You're talking rubbish. Well, of course, if you believe the message the Holy Spirit is saying, that Jesus is the Son of God, and you've received him, then you haven't committed the unforgivable sin. And the reason it's the unforgivable sin is because there is no salvation other than through Jesus. So all sins can be forgiven if you come through Jesus. But if you don't come through Jesus, well, then you can't be, that can't be forgiven. It's as simple as that. I can also remember that even the person who brought me to faith at one time questioned whether I was truly saved because he didn't feel that I'd repented of my sins enough. Now, it's commonly known that God has an enemy, and when we become believers, we become the enemy of God's enemy. He sees us as his enemy. When we're unbelievers, the devil wants to stop us from accepting the truth about Jesus. But when we are saved, he wants to make us weak and ineffective. And one of the ways he makes us weak is, if you remember the verse in Nehemiah that says, the joy of the Lord is our strength. If the devil can steal the joy of the Lord in us, then he makes us weak. So that's his attack. So he's out to steal your joy, not just your joy generally, but your joy in the Lord. So if you think about it, if you're anxiously wondering whether you're even saved, then you're not exactly, I can't think of the word, reveling in the joy of the Spirit, joy of the Lord, I should say. So hold on to your joy and make that your focus. Before I was saved, I never had the thought, I'm not saved. The one time when I wasn't saved, I never had the thought, I'm not saved. Once I become saved, suddenly I'm getting the thought, I'm not saved. And we should take that as a double confirmation, because the devil doesn't tell people who aren't saved that they're not saved. The Holy Spirit doesn't condemn us for not being saved. He convicts us of our need for Jesus. That's a completely different thing. If you have a conviction that you need Jesus, if that's what you're feeling, then that's one thing. That's the Holy Spirit. But if you have a condemnation that you're not saved, the likelihood is that's the devil, because he wouldn't be telling you you're not saved if you're not saved, because he doesn't want you to be saved. He just wants to weaken you and steal your joy. And not just your joy, but your confidence in the Lord as well. I hope you find this encouraging and helpful, and if so, please give it a like. If you want to see more of my content, which is pretty much on the grace of God, the love of God, the gospel, the good news, I should say, then please consider subscribing so you see more, and God bless you.